Hi, you guys. Hello. I'm so glad you're here. If you're watching this, you are on the Searchlight waitlist, which means that you already probably know or you figured out that your photography business may have a visibility problem, meaning that it's hard for clients to find you on the internet. And that means that they're probably not finding you the way that you hoped to. So that's what this mini training is all about. In the next 15, 20 minutes, I'm going to walk you through a very simple exercise that's going to show you exactly where you stand right now in both traditional Google search and an AI search. And I want to do that before Searchlight opens. Because I want you to know where you stand. But when you finish the program, the 6 week sprint, we're going to work together a little exercise once a week, um, an assignment once a week to, help you build out your SEO and your AEO so you start showing up on Google and, in AI search. But at the end of that 6 weeks, we're going to redo this exact exercise. So this is a really fun opportunity to measure your success. And then we'll do it again at the end of the program so you can see how much you've grown, which is very exciting. Now, I do want to apologize really quick. I have terrible allergies today, so I feel like I'm a little scratchy, but I want to get this recording out to you because this is actually really important work. And this is the kind of work that every small business should be doing, and especially right now because things are changing so much in search. So let's get into it. So before we start the exercise, I do want to share something that really stopped me in my tracks when I read it and is one of the reasons why I was like, okay, I need to create this program for people. So, according to a recent 2026 study by a research group that studies small businesses, they went in and analyzed over 350,000 local businesses. So, 350,000 local businesses. And what they found was that ChatGPT recommends only about 1.2% of those businesses. 1.2%, you guys. So that means that 98.8% of local businesses, photographers just like you, okay, are completely invisible on AI search. So that means when somebody opens ChatGPT or Claude or something like that, and they ask for a recommendation, those businesses aren't being recommended, okay? They simply do not exist in the AI world. And so the real question that matters to you as a small business is which side of that 1.2% are you on? Right? And I'll be honest, most photographers have no idea. They've never checked. They've never even been taught how to check. And that's not a criticism. All of this stuff is brand new. The way that people are searching has changed more in the past year than it has in the previous 20 to 25 years combined. Okay. Google just built AI mode into Chrome. ChatGPT, they say now handles over 800 million searches every week. Perplexity, which is another one of these large language models, is growing at 370% year over year, and 45% of consumers now use AI platforms to help make purchasing decisions, which means when clients are trying to find something, they're not doing traditional search anymore. They're not even going to social media to do search, which is what used to happen. They're going right to their AI of choice and they're asking questions and they're having a conversation with the AI and listening to what AI recommends. So your clients are changing how they're going to find their photographer. And the photographers who are showing up on those AI answers, they're the ones who are going to get the inquiries and they're going to get the clients. And what's even more important about that, I think, is that not only are they going to get inquiries and clients, they're going to get inquiries from clients who are already pre-sold, who already trust them because they feel like, hey, ChatGPT did the research and told me this is the best photographer to use in my area. That is huge, you guys. And that's what we're going to be trying to build through Searchlight. We're going to get you optimized so you start showing up on AI so that AI trusts you and starts recommending you in your business. Okay. So let's see where you are, and we're going to start that today. So what I want you to do is we are going to do a search for you, but we are going to do it in something called incognito mode on Google. So this is why. When you search for yourself, or a business, if you put in your keywords like newborn photographer, wherever you are, right? In a regular browsing window, Google already knows who you are. It can read your search history, all this kind of stuff. It knows who you are. It knows that you visit your own website. It knows your search history, and it's going to show you personalized data based on all of that. So that means that if you search newborn photographer Seattle, right, which would be me, what I would search in your regular browser, you might see your own website appear. Um, Not because your website is necessarily ranking the highest, but because Google knows that you've been to that website before and that you probably want to see it. But so in incognito mode, what we're going to do is it opens a separate window and it strips all of that away. So it's only going to show you what real potential clients, someone who has never heard of you before, would actually see when they search for a photographer like you in your area. Now, it's not perfect. Incognito mode is not perfect. Google still knows roughly like where you're located based on your internet connection. Okay. But it is really the best free tool that we have for seeing your real search presence. And it's pretty eye-opening. So we're going to do it right now. So step one, I want you to open an incognito window. So if you're in Chrome and you're on a Mac, you're going to want to press Command Shift N, and that will open incognito mode, or Control Shift N on a PC. Okay. And a dark window is going to appear. It's going to look something like this. And that is your incognito window. On Safari, you're going to go to File, then New Private Window. And if you're using Firefox, you're going to go to File, kind of similar, go to File, and then click New Private Window. All right, so that is step one. You'll know it's working because the window is going to look different from your regular browser. It's usually darker. There's like a private icon on it, and it's going to say, if you're in Google, it'll say like new incognito window, something like that. Okay, so that's step one. So make sure you do that. Do it right now. Okay, now you're just going to search yourself the way a client would search you. So you're not going to put in your name. A client probably doesn't know who you are right now. So you're going to go to your incognito window and you're going to search in something that you could imagine a client would search. So for me, for example, if I were doing this for myself, I would put in something like newborn photographer Seattle, or maybe you could put like family photographer Austin or maternity photographer Chicago or something like that. But I want you to use search terms that your ideal client would use. Okay, not your business name. They don't know that yet. They're searching for what they need. So just kind of imagine those keywords, what people would be looking for if they were looking for you. Put that into the new incognito window and hit enter and look at what comes up for you. So ideally, first you're going to get the map, right? The Google map. That's the box at the top of the results with three local businesses, usually a map, star ratings, that sort of thing. So I want you to look and see, are you in that? Okay. If yes, that is your Google business profile doing its job. So if you're showing up and it's in there, awesome, great. If not, we're going to cover that in week 4 of Searchlight. So don't worry, I'm gonna teach you how to make sure you're coming up in that. So the second thing that you're gonna want to look for are the organic results below the map. So these are usually website links, okay? And you want to just look, are you appearing anywhere on page 1? Take a quick look, scroll. If yes, great. Okay. Note what page you are on and what position you are in, because that's important. We always improve. If you're in position 1, fantastic. But if you're anywhere else but position 1, we want to improve that. If you do not see your business there, we are going to cover that. I'm going to teach you what you need to optimize so that you can start showing up in those positions. We're going to do that in week 2 and 3 of Searchlight. Now, the third thing you want to do is scroll a little bit until you see the people also ask box, because those are questions that are the things that your clients are actually searching for. And I want you to look for that. And I want you to take a screenshot of that, because we're going to use those in week 3 when we start talking about writing client centered content. Okay. So go ahead and do those things. Screenshot everything you see, all of it. Like, even if you're not showing up, take a screenshot of it. Take a screenshot of the map, take a screenshot of the screen. Don't edit it or judge it. Okay. Like, just take a screenshot of it exactly as it is right now. Try one more search. I want you to do one more search. And this one, we are going to go in and you are going to search your business name. So I want you to type it in exactly as it appears on your website. And do you appear? Does your Google Business Profile panel appear on the right side of the screen? Are there reviews visible? Okay. If yes, great. If not, there's room for improvement. We're going to work on that in the program. Okay. But take a screenshot of that too. Okay. So hopefully you've done that. Now, for the part that surprises a lot of people, we are going to see if you are visible on AI. So here we go. Buckle up. This is where it's going to get exciting. Um, and most of you, I'm going to be 100% honest. There's a good chance you will not appear, and that is okay. Remember, there's just 1.2% of all the businesses that are appearing. And so if you're not appearing, don't worry about it. That's exactly what we're going to focus on inside of Searchlight to make sure that you are showing up in AI. But again, seeing it for yourself, really seeing, whether or not you're showing up in the search landscape is valuable. Okay, it's information. And when you have that information, you can either build on it or you can build it or and you can improve it in some way. So let's just get in and check. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to open ChatGPT in a new tab. And you'll need a free account if you don't already have one. You don't have to pay for it, but you might have to set up a free account. So you can pause this, give yourself some time to do that. But once you have ChatGPT opened, I want you to type something like, I want you to use your actual city, right? But something like, who is the best newborn photographer in your city? Or can you recommend a family photographer in your area? I'm looking for a maternity photographer, where you live. Who do you suggest? Something like that. Like, start having a conversation in chat and then look at the response. Do you appear? Does your business appear? If yes, screenshot it. That is gold. Congratulations. If not, I want you to take a screenshot of that too. Okay. Because that blank space where your name should be is just as important to us as a learning tool as if you are showing up. All right. And then I want you to try one more thing. Type your business name directly. Okay. And I want you to ask chat, what do you know about your business name? And just see what it says. Sometimes it knows something and sometimes it draws a blank. And either way, that's your AI search baseline. And so we need to know that. All right. If the information is giving you tracks, if you're like, yep, that sounds like me, then great. But if it doesn't, you also need to know that. Okay. So now the second thing that we want to do is you want to check Perplexity. And this was interesting when I personally did this exercise because Perplexity isn't a platform that I use. And so it was really interesting. And I'm going to be honest, I did not come up on Perplexity. So that was a really eye-opening experience for me. But I want you to open Perplexity in a new tab. And again, it's free. You don't need an account. So, and then ask it just the exact same question that you asked ChatGPT. So, who is the best photographer in your city? Now, Perplexity in particular is useful because it shows you sources. So, the actual website listing it pulls answers from. So, I want you to look at those sources really carefully. Okay. Are you in any of them? Are yours in there? Is your website cited? Is your Google business profile cited? If yes, great. Then note which pages are being cited. Like, even if it's a blog post of yours or something like that, like, make a note of that because that's really important information. And if you're not, that's okay. But I do want you to note which sources are being cited for the photographers who did appear, because that tells you what you need to be building. And we'll get into how to do that too. But I basically just screenshot everything. Okay. This is all just really good information. Now, the last thing that we're going to do to check where you're at in the AI world, in the AI universe, is we're going to look at the Google AI overview because this is really important. Like, and I'm sure you've experienced this if you use the internet. Now, when people, type something in Google, instead of just giving it a list of sites like it used to, it gives a little paragraph where it summarizes and it answers the question. So again, we want to know that, if you're showing up in that. So I want you to go back to Google. You're still in incognito mode, and I want you to search best newborn photographer in your city, and then look at the very top of the results page. You're going to see that box with the AI generated summary before the regular results. That's the Google AI overview. And I want you to look at it. Are you in it? Okay. Is any photographer mentioned by name? And if it doesn't appear in your search, that's okay too. Sometimes that happens. But if you do get an AI overview, I want you to take a screenshot of it, whether or not you're in it or not. So you did all this. I think this is such an interesting exercise. All right. So what do you do with all this information? So we've done this exercise. What do you do now? Well, now that you've run your searches and you've taken your screenshots, I want you to do one more thing. I want you to save them. Like I said, we're going to save all of this where you can find them again. So create a folder on your desktop and call it Searchlight Before or something like that, or waitlist exercise or whatever makes sense to you that you're going to be able to find it again. And drop every single screenshot that you took in there because in week 6 of Searchlight, we're going to do this exact same exercise, and you're going to open incognito mode. You're going to search for yourself the same way and ask the exact same questions in ChatGPT and Perplexity. And you're going to start to see something different because we are going to do the work to optimize your page so that it's not only being cited by AI, but it's being trusted by AI. So AI is recommending you. So if you ran these exercises, you ran these searches, and you appeared somewhere, that's great, fantastic. That's proof that you have a really good foundation that you're building on, and what you built is working. So in Searchlight, we're just going to strengthen that using some real-time strategies that we should all be doing in our businesses right now, okay, to fill in those gaps and really bump up your visibility, okay? Now listen, if you ran those searches and you didn't appear anywhere, that's also good, okay? Now you know. You're not imagining that you have a problem. You know whether or not you're invisible or not. And if you are having problems with your visibility, that is totally fixable. Okay. That is exactly why I created Searchlight, right? So we can fix this together and we can do it in just 6 weeks in a relatively small time so that, by the time inquiries are increasing by the end of the summer, by fall, you are going to be showing up. That is my goal for you. Like, we're going to get this fixed right now. That's what summer's for. And we're doing it in a really easy way because I know you're busy. It's summertime, right? So let me just quickly walk you through what we are going to build together over the next 6 weeks once enrollment opens for Searchlight. So in week 1, we're going to dive into clarity. And if you've spent any time in my education world, you know that clarity is something that I harp on because it really is the foundation of everything. Before you can build anything, before you can touch anything, before you can optimize for anything in your business, you have to be crystal clear about who your client is and what exactly they're searching for. So we're going to use some custom AI tools that my team built for you to help you with this. We have built custom GPTs and ChatGPT that you are going to have access to inside of this program that's going to help you build out this clarity piece so that you can use it as a strategic foundation when you're doing all of this work. Okay, it's going to be your North Star. Like I said, it is absolutely the foundation of your business. So that's week 1. In week 2, we're going to build your home base. Okay, so we're going to look at your website and specifically at your homepage, make sure that it's client-centered, that it is optimized for local search, and that it is structured so that both traditional Google search and AI knows exactly what you do, where you do it, and who you serve. Okay, this directly addresses all that you just saw in that incognito search. So we're going to cover that in week 2. In week 3, we're going to build out that kind of content that is worth quoting. So anytime AI answers a question, or quotes something, it's not making that up. It is pulling that information from somewhere. And so we want AI to be pulling that information from your website and your blog post because it will then cite you and recommend you. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to write and publish. We're going to start with just one blog post that answers a real life client question, but I'm going to show you how to format it so that AI search tools can find it and cite it. And then you're going to have a template to help you do this so that you can do it on rinse and repeat going forward. So you do start showing up on ChatGPT and in Perplexity and in those in Claude or whatever model your clients are using. Okay, so that's week 3. Week 4, we are going to work on your local SEO so you can be found where you live. So this is where we're going to go in. We're going to optimize your Google business profile, which is PS, the single most powerful tool for local visibility that you can be using. And it's totally free. But this is kind of the primary source that AI draws from when answering local queries. So if somebody's like, hey, I'm looking for a Seattle newborn photographer, if you live in Seattle, that you're going to show up, and they usually pull that from your Google business profile. This is how you get up on that map, that you're one of those businesses on the map. So we're going to show you what you need to do to optimize for that as well. Week 5, we're going to make AI trust you. AI, that was hard to say. We're going to make AI trust you. Okay. Make sure that your information is consistent and verified everywhere AI looks so that when it cross references across the internet, everything matches and it will start seeing you as a trusted, reliable source. And again, that's going to lead to it referring you when people are searching. Week 6, the last week, we're calling this the visibility loop. So this is where we're going to zoom out. We're going to look at everything that you built, and we're going to run this exercise that we just did today over again in incognito mode so that you can see the differences, and you will see differences, I promise. It's really exciting. And one of the things that I love honestly about this new search model, even though it feels overwhelming and even it's like there's some ways where people are like, oh my God, it's even harder to rank than before, and that feels really frustrating. What I'm finding though is that when you implement these strategies that we're going to teach inside of Searchlight, it's a lot easier to start ranking quicker. Like traditional SEO would take months, you guys, 6 to 12 months, sometimes years before it really starts gaining traction. But what's kind of exciting is once you optimize for AI, we're seeing you results in just a few weeks. So if you can get this set up and going, you're going to see results by the end of the 6 weeks and you're going to start being found, which is the whole point of this visibility sprint. So anyway, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining the waitlist. I'm really excited to do this work for you. The photographers who are showing up in search in Google, in AI answers, in the places that your clients are looking for right now. Honestly, you guys, they are not the most talented photographers in their city, but they are the ones who have taken the time to build these foundations, and they're the ones who sit down and do this work. And that can easily be you. That's what we're going to build together. So save your screenshots, put them in your Searchlight folder, your before folder on your desktop, and get ready because enrollment's going to open soon. We're just putting final touches on the custom GPTs that we've built and some of the other bonuses that we have for you guys. But enrollment's going to open and we're going to get to work and we're going to do this summer and get you ranking. I'm so excited. So I'll see you inside of Searchlight. If you have any questions, just let me know. You can always find me at sandraconeeducation@gmail.com. You can just send me a DM on Instagram. That's great too. I would love to talk to you, answer any of your questions. But yeah, really hope to see you inside of Searchlight. It's going to be amazing.